Hello dear listener, please subscribe to our channel. Enjoy watching. I always thought I knew her. Helen. My wife. The one I married when we were both still too young to fully understand the depth of the commitment we were making, but I thought we had built something solid, something that would withstand the years and the weight of time. We had our fights, like any couple, but there was always this understanding between us, an unspoken pact. We were in this together, for better or worse. But I was wrong. I first started noticing the changes a few months ago. It was subtle at first, a slight coolness in her tone when she spoke to me, a constant preoccupation with her phone, and a certain aloofness that hadn't been there before. I tried to dismiss it, blaming the pressures of her career. Helen had always been ambitious, driven by this fierce need to succeed in the art world. She worked tirelessly, and I understood that. But as time passed, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. It was as if she was slipping away from me, retreating into herself. Then came the night I found the phone. It had been sitting on the kitchen counter, face down, just like any other night. But this time, I had the nagging urge to pick it up. To check. Call it instinct, call it paranoia, I don't know. But I picked it up, unlocked it with the code I had known for years, and there it was. The proof. Messages. Hundreds of them. Between Helen and Daniel, my best friend. The one I had known for years, the one I trusted, the one I considered a brother. The messages weren't just friendly banter. They were intimate. Loving. Confessions of desire. Of stolen moments. There, in black and white, was the betrayal that had been festering for months. The affair that had been hidden behind their smiles and their shared conversations, behind the guise of our supposed friendship. The thing that I had felt but could never quite prove. Now, it was undeniable. I felt like the floor had been ripped from under me. My chest tightened, my breath caught in my throat, and for a few seconds, I couldn't even process what I was seeing. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was just numb. The world around me seemed to blur, the air thick with a quiet rage that I didn't know how to express. I could have screamed. I could have thrown the phone against the wall. I could have confronted them, demanded answers, shattered their world with the truth. But I didn't. Instead, I closed the phone and set it back down on the counter. I decided then that I would not let them see me fall apart. No. I would make them pay. But I wouldn't do it the way they expected. I would play the long game. And in the end, I would be the one walking away victorious. The first thing I did was take a step back. I didn't confront Helen. I didn't tell her that I knew. Instead, I started gathering information, making sure I understood the full extent of their betrayal. I hired a private investigator, someone who could track their movements and provide me with concrete evidence of their rendezvous. The investigator did his job well. He followed them, recorded their meetings, and even got a few pictures of them together. I had all the evidence I needed, but I knew that simply confronting them wouldn't be enough. I needed to destroy them, to make them understand the weight of their actions, to punish them in a way that would linger long after the affair had ended. Helen had always been obsessed with her career, art galleries, high-profile exhibitions, and a reputation that she had carefully cultivated over the years. I knew that if I hit her where it hurt most, it would be there. The art world was her everything. So, I started working behind the scenes to unravel her reputation. I contacted a few of her colleagues, people who I knew didn't particularly like her, and anonymously planted the seeds of doubt. I spread rumors about her work, whispering that she had been cutting corners, plagiarizing others, and that her success had been built on favors, not talent. Slowly, the whispers began to spread. I made sure the right people heard them, the critics, the investors. Her next exhibition, the one she had been working on for months, was a disaster. Reviews were harsh. Investors pulled out. Her carefully curated world started to crumble. At the same time, I turned my attention to Daniel. His reputation as an art dealer had taken years to build. He had connections with the right people, the wealthy buyers who trusted his taste. But now, it was time for that to fall apart as well. I started leaking stories about him, questionable deals, unethical behavior, even a few fabrications about his personal life. It wasn't hard to do. Daniel's past wasn't as squeaky clean as he liked to pretend. The rumors started to spread, and soon, his reputation was tarnished beyond repair. Clients stopped returning his calls. His colleagues began to avoid him. He didn't even know what hit him. I watched all of this unfold with a sense of cold satisfaction. But I wasn't done. Not yet. The final act was my masterpiece, the one that would truly break them. I invited Helen and Daniel to a high-profile charity event, one they had been looking forward to for months. I knew they would both attend, their masks of professionalism firmly in place, each pretending that nothing had changed. They had no idea what was coming. I had arranged everything carefully, ensuring that every detail would be perfect. The venue was packed with influential people, critics, investors, and socialites. It was the perfect setting for the ultimate revelation. As the evening wore on, I waited. I watched Helen and Daniel mingle with the crowd, oblivious to the storm that was about to hit. Then, I made my move. I called a press conference. The reporters, expecting the usual charity event speech, were instead met with a shocking revelation, a video. A video that exposed the affair between Helen and Daniel. The video was expertly edited, showing moments of their most intimate exchanges, their stolen kisses, their whispered confessions. I had made sure it was undeniable, each frame capturing the essence of their betrayal. The room fell silent. I watched as their faces drained of color. The gasps, the whispers, the stunned expressions on their faces, they were trapped. The betrayal, the lies, everything was laid bare for the world to see. Helen's career, her reputation, everything she had worked for, was ruined in an instant. And Daniel? He was finished. His career as an art dealer lay in tatters. But I wasn't done yet. As they tried to salvage what little dignity they had left, I presented the final blow. I had contacted the investors who had pulled out of Helen's exhibition, the clients who had distanced themselves from Daniel, and I presented them with a new opportunity, a chance to invest in something else. My company. I had quietly built my own art collective, one that would rival anything they had ever done. And just as I had destroyed their careers, I now offered those same people a chance to be part of my success. The irony wasn't lost on me. I had taken everything from them. Their careers, their reputations, their friends, and their status. They were left with nothing. As I left the event, the sounds of their destruction echoing in my mind, I felt a strange sense of relief. I had done what I set out to do, and yet, there was no joy in it. I hadn't killed them, physically, at least, but I had destroyed them in a way that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. Their betrayal had been answered. And I had emerged victorious. But as I walked out into the cold night, I couldn't shake the feeling that the real punishment was yet to come. It wasn't the career ruin, the public humiliation, or the endless whispers. It was something far worse. It was knowing that, deep down, I would never truly be free of the echoes of vengeance. They would haunt me just as much as they haunted them. And I would live with that, forever. If you leave a comment, tell us what you think about the story you heard. It's important to us and will help us find and tell stories that you find interesting. Thank you for watching us.